morning, everyone. I hope you're all healthy and safe and doing all right during this time. I just wanted to do a little what I eat in a day while I lose fat, because I realized not too long ago that it's been about 1.5 years since I actively tried to lose fat. Like, there was a small period in there about 1 year ago that I tried to lose fat after my reverse diet, but I had to quit because my health kicked me in the butt and it just couldn't be a focus. So we'll see how it goes. My beverage of choice for this morning was what I like to call my Clear Mind coffee. I have a version of this in my Adaptogens 101 ebook. I think the recipe's fairly similar. I didn't reference the recipe to make this, but I know that it serves the same purpose. So I use my favorite coffee from my coffee guy from the farmer's market, BLACKLIGHT coffee. And then one of my least favorite things about coffee is that honestly, I don't really feel an energy boost from it. I don't get that like, oh yeah, I'm caffeinated, I'm gonna go do all the things kind of deal, but I still get the crash from it. So what I like to do to kind of like even out the energy distribution from the coffee so that it doesn't like spike and crash, even though I don't feel the spike, I'm sure something spikes and that's why I have a crash, is I like to add some CBD to it. And I feel like for me, this really helps even out that energy bump that I get, and it gives me much more sustained energy throughout the day and definitely much more clarity in focus, which is why I also doubled up and used the lion's mane from Four Sigmatic to also kind of help it give that mental boost so that my brain can focus a lot better for a longer amount of time rather than giving me like a physical energy boost. But definitely the CBD oil is the #1 ingredient in this that really, at least for me, helps give me that sustained energy. And this effect is widely reported by people who add CBD to their coffee. It's not just me. But for today, I just have a lot of work that I need to power through, and so I really just want that like sustained focus with like a little bit of extra oomph in my brain power. And of course, if you're gonna try this, I highly recommend the Ned CBD oil specifically. It is the best brand of CBD on the market by far. It's all organically grown, which is really important for CBD specifically because it's one of those plants that just like leaches things from the soil. So if there's anything surrounding it that is potentially toxic, it's going to absorb it and it's going to end up in the extraction. So they make sure that there's no exposure to anything that could contaminate the quality of the oil. And then my favorite thing is that it is full spectrum. So it's not just a CBD isolate. There's a thing called the entourage effect, where if you have different cannabinoids, which are the different kind of components of the hemp plant, when you combine them, they become more powerful than any one could be individually. So that's my secret weapon for my Clear Mind coffee this morning. As always, if you want to try Ned, highly recommend if you're looking to get into CBD oil, you can use my code fitandnerdy to get 15% off any of their products. They also have an amazing skincare line, and they have a line designed specifically to help balance female hormones, which I'm probably gonna talk about in like soonish, but definitely recommend you take a look into that. But yeah, also the lion's mane adds a huge boost for the mental clarity as well. And then for some reason in my head, mint just feels like a mentally clearing thing, so I made it peppermint chocolate peppermint. So 1 drop of peppermint extract, a little bit of cacao powder, some almond milk, and then monk fruit to sweeten it. Was that everything? Oh, I added a little bit of cacao butter just to make it a little bit richer and smoother and creamier. But anyway, I'm gonna finish drinking this. I'll show you what I eat. May or may not be having a ping pong tournament later. We'll see how that goes. Wish me luck. So today is kind of like a clear out the fridge kind of day because I just have a mishmash of stuff and I want to go grocery shopping so that I can actually like plan my meals and make bigger batches of stuff, but I want to finish what I have first. So all it is to say, my breakfast is a big pile of steamed vegetables because I had 1 carrot left, a little bit of broccoli, and then some cauliflower. So I just steamed that because honestly, when I was doing AIP, I grew to love steamed vegetables. There's just something, they're so good. It's probably the salt that's on them. And then I just have salmon left. This is probably like 6-7 ounces of salmon just baked in the oven. That was pre-baked, it was a leftover, so breakfast. All right, I think it's time for the ultimate roommate ping pong showdown. I have zero confidence in myself in this. I don't remember the last time I played ping pong, but it's been years. So, about to get my butt kicked. For lunch, or I guess a snack, I have gone with just a wee bit of pasta. Again, I'm just trying to clear out the fridge today, and I had some Primal Kitchen Alfredo sauce left that apparently once you open it goes bad within 5 days. So I've been trying to have like a serving a day so I can get through it before it goes bad. So I figured, you know, pasta, because it's Alfredo sauce. So I made the Sybil's free to eat red lentil pasta. It's lentils, beets, sweet potatoes, and I think carrots. And normally, you guys know, I try to have a source of protein with my meals. Well, today that is the pasta. One serving of pasta I think is like 24 grams of protein. And then it does have some vegetables in it, but honestly it's probably mostly lentils. So I chopped up like 3/4 of a cup of zucchini and threw that in there with the Alfredo sauce. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm also gonna open up a kombucha. I have the Better Booch in Rose Bliss flavor. It's rose flavor with white tea. All right, I'm in the Clean Plate Club and I'm still sipping on my kombucha, but I wanted to take a second to chat through a subject that I think needs to be discussed more and at more length than it currently is, because usually I just see people in two camps and there's no discussion between the two, and everyone's like, no, this is wrong, yes, this is right, but no one discusses the nuance of it, and I want to discuss the nuance of it. And this is the calories in versus calories out for weight loss discussion. On one hand, you have the people who say weight loss is purely calories in versus calories out. There's nothing else to it. If you're not losing weight, it's because you're eating too much and you're not in a deficit, and that's that. And then you have people in the other camp that say that the number of calories that you're eating really doesn't matter. All that matters is the composition of the food that you're eating, and that like if you're eating any sugar at all, you're never going to lose weight, and you're just spiking your insulin and storing all of the fat, and calories don't matter. It's your food that does. And guess what? The reality is that it's somewhere in the middle of the two. Go figure. Here's the truth, the cold hard truth of the matter. Calories in versus calories out is a very basic, simplistic way of looking at the human metabolism. We do not have a full understanding of the human metabolism. Science cannot explain every facet of the metabolism. So you do have to a certain extent, simplify it into something concrete and understandable based on what we do know. It's just that the calories in versus calories out model is a little bit more simplistic than we even understand, and so it disregards a lot of other factors. And just to briefly touch on this in case anyone is not privy to this conversation, the calories in versus calories out model basically says that in order to lose fat, you must be intaking fewer calories than you are expending. The calories in must be lower than the calories out. And if that is the case, you will lose weight. And often the calories outside of the equation is calculated based off of like macro calculators online, based off of your height, weight, and your activity level. And so when you're calculating the calories in, you just take that number and then you take the deficit from that number. And we'll get into the issue with that in a second. But I do want to say that calories in, calories out is a good baseline model, especially in the short term. The issues that arise with using this model though, is that the calories outside of the equation is assumed to be stagnant based on your height, your weight, and your activity level. And this is where it goes wrong. This is where our knowledge of the human metabolism deviates from this model. Your calories in affect your calories out because the human body is an adaptation machine. I talk about this all the time. Your metabolism will adapt to the number of calories that you're eating to hold your body at maintenance. And this happens in a matter of weeks. It doesn't happen instantaneously, but over time, if you are eating in a deficit, your metabolism will slow down so that you stop burning those extra calories. If you're eating in a surplus, over time, your metabolism will speed up so that you're not in a surplus anymore. That's the basic principle of reverse dieting and why it works. The metabolism adapts to what you're eating. So if you think you're burning 2,000 calories, so you're eating 1,500 calories to lose weight, and you stay at 1500 calories, eventually your metabolism will slow down and your calories out will be 1500 calories as well. And your calories in will match your calories out. Even though your height didn't change, your weight didn't change, your activity level is the same, your metabolic rate changed. And that's why so many people hit fat loss plateaus and they have to keep dropping their calories. It's not because you've lost 5 pounds that you have to decrease your calorie intake by 400 calories just to see more weight loss. It's because your metabolism slowed down to match the number of calories you were eating. But the calories in, calories out model, that's a mouthful and I don't know how best to shorten it. The calories in, calories out model is flawed in many other ways because there are so many more things that affect the calories outside of the equation and that can make it fluctuate from day to day, even if your height, weight, activity level are staying the same. So some of the other big factors that come into play on the calories outside of the equation are your health. First of all, if your body is experiencing health issues, if it is struggling to heal, it is going to take its energy and put it towards that and prioritize healing. It is not going to prioritize fat loss if your body is not healthy, which is why if you're having health issues, that's why I always recommend working on those before working on fat loss. Because if you're fighting against your body's trying to heal and you're like, no, we're just gonna try to lose fat instead, you're fighting a losing battle. One of the other huge factors in human metabolism is stress. Stress raises a lot of different hormones, the main one being cortisol. And cortisol has an impact on other hormones in the body that directly modulate metabolism, specifically how glucose is formed in the body. So if one day you're super stressed out, your cortisol is elevated, that is going to have an impact on the calories outside of the equation. Or if you start your fat loss journey, you're chilling, but then something happens and now all of a sudden you have this underlying level of chronic stress, that's also majorly going to impact it. Another huge factor is sleep. This, I cannot stress this enough. Sleep majorly impacts how your body metabolizes food. There is so much science to support this. A quick Google search will show you so much. I have a whole video on it, so I'll link that down in the description. I'm also gonna link a research review that looked at different studies about sleep. Fascinating read if you want to get into the nitty-gritty. But basically what this review found is that a lack of sleep as well as circadian misalignment is believed to cause metabolic dysregulation through a variety of pathways, from overstimulation of the sympathetic nervous system to hormone imbalance to inflammation. And then there are so many more factors that can affect the calories outside of the equation. Calories in versus calories out, people are gonna just say, keep eating what you were eating and things are gonna keep changing the way they were changing. But no, that's not how it works. Because the thing is, they're still right even when you take into account these other things. So like, if you got poor sleep and that caused the calories outside of the equation to be lower, the calories in still need to be lower than that in order to lose fat. So you do have to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight, but how you achieve that is not necessarily through taking a baseline TDEE and then just decreasing calories from there. I have seen people start to eat more and lose weight because by eating more, their bodies became healthier and so their bodies started burning through calories more efficiently. I think that is where I have the biggest issue with the proponents of calories in versus calories out, because the calories inside of the equation doesn't always have to be less than what you are eating to maintain weight in order to lose weight, which sounds weird. And I think that's gonna make some people angry. But for any of you who have been in forums for people who are dealing with chronic illness or some sort of health issue, you see this happen all of the time, whereby people who are having health issues start to eat more of healthier foods, but their calories are increasing and they finally start to lose the weight because their body is getting the exact nutrition it needs to heal. And so it burns through more calories. And it's kind of the same with people who chronically undereat and why when they reverse diet, they start to lose fat as well. Like people coming from really low calorie intakes, like people who are eating 600 calories a day, 800 calories a day, as soon as they start to reverse diet and slowly increase their calorie intake, oftentimes, especially if they're starting overweight, they will gradually lose weight while increasing calories because their body is getting healthier and so it's able to let go of some of that fat that it was holding on to. But it is still calories in versus calories out because the calories out is increasing because of the increased calories in. It's just that that's not often how it's applied. I hope that's clear. If that's not clear, please please leave a comment down below, because I'm not saying calories in versus calories out is wrong. That is basic physics. You have to be intaking fewer calories than you're burning. However, sometimes you have to increase your calorie intake to increase the calorie burn so that you can actually be eating less than you are burning, even though you're eating more than you were when you were maintaining weight. Human metabolism. Fascinating stuff. Super complex. We don't have a full understanding of it, but wow. That's honestly what I love most about working with clients, is like seeing this stuff come into play. It's just fascinating. So the sun has basically set, but I have not gotten in all of my movement for the day. I did like a half-hour walk earlier. Then I think the ping pong counts as a little bit of movement, but I want to get in like 20-30 minutes of walking, and it's like, I think it's light enough that it'll be light for the next 20 to 30 minutes. So I'm gonna go for a walk, then I think it's dinner time. 2 hours later. Who's a pretty cat with perfect lighting? You are. It's now time for dinner, having leftovers again. Oh, also I lost horribly at ping pong. I think it was 21-4. I will practice, I will get better, but
it was a little embarrassing, I'm not gonna lie.
But for dinner, again, huge thing of leftovers. I made this thing that I dubbed everything rice the other night. This is zucchini, sweet potato, a bunch of carrot. I thought I put some squash in here. Oh, I meant to put acorn squash in here because I have an acorn squash and I totally forgot. Then black beans, chickpeas. I basically cooked all that up and then cooked some rice and mixed it in with rice. So it's everything rice. And then I made baked turkey thigh, which, oh my God, if you want Thanksgiving without the hassle of Thanksgiving, get turkey thighs and just bake them. Oh, so this is gonna be my dinner. All right, friends, it is the night time. It is the evening. It is the time to start winding down and have my final little dessert. I am going to have some Who Kitchen chocolate. I have the vanilla quinoa crispy dark chocolate. So I'm gonna have half a bar of this. And then I just made myself a cup of piping hot tea. It is Tulsi tea with ginger. Ooh, I should add some lemon to this. I think I'm too lazy to do that tonight though. So I'm gonna drink this, eat my chocolate, cuddle with Ernie, watch some Mad Men. Oh, are you sleepy? Oh, stretch. Oh, big stretch.
Okay, you can sit on my computer, that's fine.
But really quick, let me tell you the final breakdown of my macros. So as I told you guys before, I am aiming for a weekly average, not a daily goal. My weekly average calories is about 1750. I'll link the video where I go through all of my macros specifically for weight loss and why I picked them. But today I ended up hitting approximately 1800 calories with macros of 122 grams of protein. I don't know how that happened, but that's great. 214 grams of carbs and 57 grams of fat. So I'm actually pretty shy on fat today, which is weird because usually I have no problem hitting my fat goals when I'm just eating what I want to eat, but maybe it's because I was trying to eat all the leftovers and not really eating quite exactly what I would normally eat. I don't know. Either way, it doesn't really matter because again, aiming for a weekly average. I'm sure I had plenty of fat previous days if I go back and check. Let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are on the calories in versus calories out model of the human metabolism and whether or not you have found it to be completely on point for you or if you had to make adjustments based on other factors in your life that didn't quite go with the way people usually apply the model. In the meantime, if you like this video, please give a big thumbs up because it really does support me on my channel. I really appreciate it. Please share this video, put it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on your Instagram stories. I'll repost you if you do. If you want to see more videos from me all about health and fitness, doing a little bit more about fat loss right now since that's what I'm trying to accomplish, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit the little notification bell so you get notified when I post a new video. If you want to see my previous videos about fat loss, you can check them out over here. And I will see you very soon. Bye.